Birth and death are friends. They are essentially the same thing, yet opposites. Birth and death are two sides of the same coin. Birth takes you into life and death takes you out of life. Everything that has been born will die, and everything that has died has been born, and so on. There are two states of being, life or oblivion. Life is life. It's what you're doing right now, existing, consciousness. Oblivion is nothing. Just nothing. Birth. Okay, let's start at the very beginning, shall we? Sperm is produced in a system of tiny tubes in the testicles. These tubes are called the seminiferous tubules. These tubes house the germ cells that cause hormones like testosterone to turn into sperm. The seminal vesicles and prostate gland make fluid called seminal fluid, which mixes with sperm to form semen. Okay, so that's you, a little sperm cell. Now, when that sperm cell fertilises with a woman's egg in the fallopian tubes, it begins initial prenatal development. Right, that's that. You are now a little embryo in your mum's womb. Now conception's done, this is probably the last time you'll ever see your father. So, bye Dad. To simplify this now, you'll probably be in there for 9 months growing. Don't worry, the yucky bits are nearly over. During childbirth, the muscles of the uterus press down on the baby's bottom. The baby's head then presses on the cervix, which, along with the hormone release of oxytocin, brings on contractions. Obviously, there are a few complications here and there, but whether C-section or natural birth, welcome to the world, young chap. Although you won't be too excited, since you're seeing lights for the first time and hearing breathing on your own, etc. Quite scary for a first-timer. Well, that's birth. You didn't know you were going to be born. Your actual birth was a bit of a shocking and confusing experience. However, you know you were born. Life. Ah yes, life, consciousness, existence. Pretty much what's happening to you right now. But there's more. Life is basically the opposite of oblivion. Nothingness. Oblivion is just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Quite boring, to be honest. Yet right now, you're alive. You are living your life. Not oblivion. Glad we got that out of the way then. Let's just say that you were born. And you're going to die. Quite cheery, I know. But it's okay. Let me explain. Death. Just death. Now, if you go into the fundamentals, I'll just say that death is your body shutting down. From your brain to your heart, it's game over. You can die plenty of ways. For example, there's drowning yourself with your laptop, although none that I'm too keen on, believe it or not. But after you die, you decompose. It begins several minutes after death, with a process called autolysis, or self-digestion. Soon after the heart stops beating, cells become deprived of oxygen, and their acidity increases as the toxic byproducts or chemical reactions begin to accumulate inside them. Basically, after some time, your body decomposes into a skeleton. You become nothing, unfortunately. Nothing. Oblivion. When you think of it, what were you before a sperm cell? Nothing. And I don't mean just consciously, I mean physically you were nothing. So you're just part of your father in a way. And after you die, your family puts you in the ground, insects will eat you, and you'll basically become compost. Shut up, cremation, I don't have time for you. This whole planet is basically one big compost heap. You came from nothing, and you become nothing. Or do you? Energy can't be created or destroyed. You're made of carbon as well. So, in a nice way, you're always a part of the planet. And always will be. Well, you know, before all that stuff happens in millions and billions of years. Poor Earth. Conclusion. Okay, so birth and death are similar yet opposites. You didn't know you were going to be born. Birth is confusing and scary, but now you know you were born. Whereas with death, you know you're going to die. Right now, you know one day you will die. When you die, it will be confusing and scary. And after you die, you don't know you're dead. See my point? The coin thing makes sense now. Both birth and death involve the transition, including life and oblivion. Another way I view life is as a waking period. You've been in oblivion for God knows how long, eternity I suppose, and when you're born, you're alive. For a bit. Then you, die and go back to oblivion. Now that you know all about this Mr. Death, another question is, should I be afraid of death? And the answer is, yes. Very yes. Death is freaking scary. No matter how you look at it, whether or not you're at terms with it, we're biologically designed to be afraid of death as a survival instinct. Listen here, my Homo sapien monkey, evolutionary freak friend. Death is a big no-no. I like to view life as a movie at the cinema. You go in, and there can be good and bad parts of a movie. Some films are brilliant, and some are downright terrible. Like life, sometimes a movie is so bad you need to leave it early. Okay, that was too far. But in the end, you leave the cinema. And yes, you do leave. Don't try sneaking in another screen or sleeping in the toilets. I tried it and they called my mum, and now I can't have popcorn money. The end. What's that? You just watched this whole video without subscribing or liking? What's wrong with you, bruh?